Well, everybody, things are a little bit different than yesterday. I just do want to apologize because I did kind of oversell the storm quite a bit yesterday. I probably shouldn't have done that. The setup is actually not as good as I made it out to be yesterday, really because you need that injection of cold air, and we don't have that for this particular storm. And because of that, there's going to be mixing with rain and sleet and freezing rain, and it's just going to be a real mess along the coast here. There's not going to be a lot of snow accumulation. I'll get into that, but before we talk about that, I do have a new snowfall map, by the way, so we will get to that. This is our Canadian model. This is the piece of energy on the 500 millibar vorticity map. Alright, and this will move to the south and east, and it'll form a storm over the Carolina coast, and that storm will come up the coast because there is room for that to happen. So I'm just going to loop through this really quick. You can see how it all kind of stays together there. And then you also have you have other pieces of energy in the northern jet stream that might work to push our storm a little bit to the east, and that's why one of the reasons why this doesn't come directly up the coast. You have this vortex, this trough over southeastern Canada, and you have other pieces of energy in the northern jet that are going to work to push our storm a little bit to the east as it comes up, but not far east enough where it will go out to sea. Okay, so now we are on Saturday morning. This is your trough, and this is your storm starting to form, and it will start to come up the coast. Alright, so this is where we were. Okay, and by the time we get to Saturday afternoon, here is your trough. It's starting to go negative, which is good. And as you can see, you have this piece of energy trying to boot it out to sea. This piece of energy is actually positive. So what that tells me, So what this tells me is because you have a bit of a positive tilt here, that the flow out ahead of it is not exactly from the southwest. It's a little more to the east, which is why this trough gets booted to the east a little bit. But then that'll come up, and you can take a look at our precipitation map. This is by Saturday evening. You have all this intense precipitation, and as this storm moves up, it starts to strengthen a little bit. Down here it was 1,000 millibars. Now you're up to 984. Now, one of the differences between yesterday and today is the models yesterday were showing that this was going to strengthen quicker. And when you have a storm strengthening, you generate your own cold air. But the indications are that it's not going to strengthen quick enough for the Mid-Atlantic and lower Hudson Valley, New York City, Long Island, and southeastern Pennsylvania. It's not going to strengthen quick enough to get major snow in these areas, so there will be some warm air around across coastal southern New England and coastal sections of the Mid-Atlantic and New York City and Long Island, where there's going to be issues with mixing, and I will get to that. But as this comes up, it strengthens even more. Now we're down to 982. And you start to generate your own cold air for central and northern New England, which is where we are expecting the highest snowfall amounts. For Massachusetts, southeastern New Hampshire, and into the coastal sections of Maine, that's where we're really concerned about getting over 6 inches, maybe even up to a foot. And that the place where you could get a foot is probably going to be up in Maine, because that's where the storm's going to be the strongest, so you have cold air, and the precipitation will be the heaviest up there. Okay, so now we've gone through the process here. The key was this trough and this piece of energy pushing a little bit far enough east so that cold air, warm air is not an issue for the New England coast. So that was the idea. And I will go straight to the snowfall map. This video might actually be pretty quick. I'm so happy. So you start out, your storm will be around the Carolinas and Virginia for Friday night. So you start out with with a little bit of snow in these areas. You got a band of snow across Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, and then going up into portions of central and northern Virginia and West Virginia. This will be mainly Friday night into early Saturday. Expecting a general, coating to 1 inch or 2, maybe 3. And then across the mountains of West Virginia, of course, you could pick up a little more. You could pick up 3 to 5, 3 to 6. Richmond, Virginia, I'm going with a coating to 1 inch or 2. Now, this storm will start to move up the coast, and so starting Saturday morning, going up throughout the day, up into central New England, this is where your prime area for precipitation falling will be during Saturday, and now I have to get specific. Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. Warm air is going to be an issue. You're going to mix. You're going to start out as snow, but you will eventually mix and change to rain. So we're going to go with 1 to 3 inches for you guys. Just to the north and west of Philadelphia, though, across southeastern Pennsylvania, we're thinking 3 to 4 inches. The storm won't bomb out quick enough for precipitation to be extremely heavy, so I don't think you'll get any more than 3 to 4, maybe 5 inches across southeastern Pennsylvania here. Coastal southern New Jersey, you're going to mix again, so 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches for you guys, including Atlantic City, 1 to 2, maybe 3. Now, most weather forecasters have New York City and Long Island 1 to 3. I have 3 to 6 there for a particular reason, because as that low moves up, it's going to strengthen, and then on the back side of the low, we could get another round of heavy snow, and that's why I have 3 to 6, a little further to the south and east than most people, because I'm a little concerned that we might get a second round of snow Saturday afternoon and evening for anywhere from central Jersey on northward, including the lower Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. I'm concerned about that second band of snow. But to get specific for these areas, because that's where most of my viewers are from, for New York City and Long Island, what I'm expecting is we start out as snow, probably around 4 to 5 o'clock Saturday morning. Could be moderate to heavy at times. Eastern Long Island is going to go right over to rain at about 8 or 9 o'clock. You're going to pick up a coating to an inch or two of snow, and then I'm thinking central and eastern Long Island, so William Floyd Parkway on eastward, you're rain by 8 or 9. I don't really think you're getting any more snow after 8 or 9 o'clock. For the rest of Long Island, I think so from western Suffolk into Nassau, Queens, and the city, you're going to stay snow for a little longer, and then you're going to start to mix with freezing rain and sleet mid-morning, and then you'll probably change to rain for a couple of hours in the late morning to early afternoon, but then everybody's going to change back to snow from west to east. New York City and western Long Island will go back to snow, I would say around 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe 3 at the latest. And then eastern Long Island will change back to snow in the late afternoon, and I think we can pick up a total of 3 to 4 inches for northwestern Suffolk County, and then on westward into Nassau and the city. I'm going with 3 to 4 inches. If the round of heavy snow in the afternoon is heavy enough, we could pick up 5 inches in some locations. I don't think we get to 6, though. So just something to watch. So that's why I had the 3 to 6 area this far south and east. For the Twin Forks and central and eastern Suffolk County, I think it's going to be 1 to 3 even if we do bomb out, because I think you're going to be rain for a good portion of the day on Saturday. In the lower Hudson Valley, you're mainly going to be snow, so I'm going to go 3 to 6 for you guys, 3 to 6 inches. Connecticut, coastal Connecticut, we're going to go 3 to 4, maybe 5. And then as you get up into central and northern Connecticut, the storm starts to bomb out, your snows start to pick up. So for Hartford, you'll be in the 3 to 6 inch range. Then into northern Connecticut, you could pick up, I don't know if you'll get to a foot, I'm going to go with 6 to 8 inches for northern Connecticut. And then as you get... Sorry, that was my cats. Hold on a sec. As I was saying, sorry about that, cats can get really rowdy sometimes. As you get into northern Connecticut and into central and maybe even western Massachusetts, you start to pick up 6 inches. I'm going to go with Boston, too. You're in this threat. You could see 6 to 8 inches in these areas. Coastal Massachusetts, I'm thinking 1 to 3 because you're going to mix with rain throughout the day on Saturday. Coastal New Hampshire, we're going to go with 3 to 6. And then as you get up into Maine, the storm really starts to bomb out. You don't have to worry about warm air coming in, so we're going to go 6 to 12, and you could possibly see a foot into northern sections of Maine here. Alright, done. So this is my current snowfall map. So again, most of my viewers, New York City and Long Island, we're expecting 3 to 4 inches for New York City, 3 to 4 inches for Nassau and northwestern Suffolk, and then 1 to 3 south shore of Suffolk and central and eastern Suffolk. We're going 1 to 3. For now, I'm still worried about that bombing out and getting a second round of heavy snow later in the afternoon, so we will keep an eye on that. Okay, so that's the story. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for overdoing this yesterday.